The Bible's greatest king committed adultery, ordered the death of an innocent man, and was still called a man after God's own heart. This is the story of King David, the version you were never taught. History turns men into symbols. It polishes their flaws, simplifies their choices, and removes the darkness that made them who they were. King David became a symbol of faith, a symbol of courage, a symbol of divine favor. But symbols are created after the blood dries. Before David became a king, he was something far less inspiring. He was a child shaped by absence, by silence, by isolation. This story does not begin with a crown or a battlefield. It begins with a boy who learned very early what it meant to be alone. Israel did not want God as its king anymore. The people watched surrounding nations and envied them. They wanted armies. They wanted power they could see. They wanted a ruler who looked strong enough to protect them. But fear is louder than wisdom. Saul became king. At first, he looked like the answer to every prayer, tall, commanding, unmistakably powerful. But leadership does not create character, it exposes it. Saul ruled through fear of enemies, fear of rebellion, fear of losing control. Each decision made him more unstable. Each mistake isolated him further. God withdrew his favor quietly. No thunder, no collapse, just a growing emptiness inside a man who held too much power and too little peace. And while a king unraveled in the palace, something else was happening far away. Bethlehem was small, quiet, insignificant. Jesse lived there with his family, strong sons raised to be visible, trained for recognition, prepared for importance. David was not prepared for any of that. He was the youngest, too small, too quiet, too easily forgotten. So he was sent away. The fields became his world. Not green pastures like paintings would later show, but harsh terrain filled with predators, cold nights, and long silences. Sheep demanded constant attention. One mistake meant death for the animal or for the boy protecting it. David learned vigilance. He learned patience. He learned how fear feels in the body before violence erupts. While his brothers ate together and trained for war, David watched the horizon alone. No applause, no instruction, no guidance, just responsibility without recognition. And responsibility, when placed on a child too early, leaves marks. The wilderness shaped David more than any teacher ever could. Days passed in silence. Nights stretched endlessly under open skies. Predators came quietly, suddenly, without mercy. David did not have the luxury of hesitation. He learned to move fast, to strike hard, to finish fights quickly. Blood was not symbolic to him, it was practical. He learned that survival often depends on acting before fear has time to speak. Music became his refuge. Words became his way of organizing chaos. But survival became instinct, and instincts are difficult to unlearn. When Samuel entered Bethlehem, tension filled the air. A prophet's presence meant judgment, change, or disaster. Jesse gathered his sons, strong sons, confident sons, men who expected to be seen. David was not called. The ceremony unfolded without him. One by one, the sons stood before Samuel, impressive, trained, prepared for leadership. Each time, the answer was no. Confusion spread. Samuel asked if anyone was missing. Only then was David mentioned, not summoned at first, just acknowledged as an afterthought. He was brought in from the fields, dirty, sun-worn, out of place, and yet something unseen shifted the moment he entered. Samuel anointed him. No explanation followed, no celebration, no promise of what came next. David received power without context, a dangerous thing for anyone, especially a boy. And then he was sent back to the silence, back to the fields, back to waiting. Being chosen did not change David's circumstances. He still slept outdoors, still fought animals, still lived unseen. But now he carried something heavier than loneliness, expectation, a future he could not reach, a destiny no one acknowledged. This kind of waiting does something to the mind. It teaches patience or resentment, faith or ambition, and David had time to think, a lot of time. While David waited, Saul deteriorated. Music was the only thing that calmed the torment of the king. David was summoned. The boy who lived among sheep entered halls of stone and gold. He saw guards, weapons, authority. He saw fear behind royal eyes. And for the first time, David understood something critical. Power does not remove fear, it amplifies it. He played music, he observed, he learned. War was approaching. The Philistines gathered their forces. Fear spread across Israel. Soldiers prepared, weapons were sharpened, and somewhere nearby, a giant stepped forward. But this is not yet that story. This is the story of everything that made that moment possible. A boy raised in isolation, conditioned by survival, given power without guidance, and history was about to give him an opportunity. David stood at the edge of something enormous. Not yet a warrior, not yet a king, but no longer just a shepherd. The silence of the fields had prepared him. The absence of recognition had hardened him. The secret anointing had planted something restless inside him. And when he heard the giant's voice echo across the valley, something in him did not fear it. It recognized it. The battlefield was set. A nation trembled. A king hesitated. A giant waited. And a shepherd stepped closer. Next episode, David versus Goliath. Not as a miracle, but as the moment everything David had become finally found a target.